Good morning, my people. Welcome to Garage Workouts, your garage, your gym. All right, so today we're gonna be working on shoulders. We're gonna just focus on shoulders, okay? There is other elements of this as well. It's not just the shoulders itself, but it works a little bit the upper chest, it works a little bit the traps, but that's the frame that actually determines, the structure of your body. So shoulders, very important. Okay, I'm gonna put my timer on.
Warm up.
Okay, so let's start warming up. All right, so we're gonna start warming up. Move those arms in circles. I got my bench ready, my push-up bars ready. We're gonna use it only one time. When we do like reverse press or pike press, you'll see it. So yeah, just warm up. It's getting warmer here in Florida. We're in April now, so warm days ahead. And we have some warm days the days before too. Okay. Yeah. 40 seconds. Yes. It's good to move the arms. It's good to move the legs. Just bring that blood all over the body. Start the machine, get everything running and flowing and pumping. Good. And breathing. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm gonna start with 40 pounds.
Athletic work.
Okay, so first we have Arnold press. We're gonna start with 40s, see how that works. When I do this, I like to sit on my bench, just because it doesn't, anything that I do overhead, affects my back, but this way, it doesn't. So go down, and if you notice, I'm a little bit inclined, and this is just to protect my back, right here. Arnold press. So I go down, in, out, press. Okay, let's take a little break. First break. Okay, let's see where we are. 45 seconds. I definitely can get 2 more on this one. So let's start. Okay. High resistance simulation training. So the first one, a lot of reps. Second, less. Third, maybe a little less, but doesn't matter. Arms and shoulders are working. Yeah. 3 sets.
Cardio.
That was really good. 3 sets is perfect. Some of them we're going to be able to do more, like the reverse press. I should be doing more than that. All right, that's next. Reverse press or pike press is next. For that one, I just need my push-up bars. You'll see how that works. "20 seconds left. First, I'm gonna try to use my bench, maybe to just get a little higher. You can do this against the wall too, but we're just gonna make it easier. We have the wall back there, but still, we'll try to make it easier. All right, so got my push-up bars, and I'm gonna try up here. So I press and I try to go up and down. So I'm gonna start on top of my bench first. It's like a reverse push-up. I mean a press. Yep. Okay, that was good for the first one. Yeah, shoulders. That Arnold press at the beginning definitely got my shoulders pumped. So I'm gonna just do it floor wide, right on the floor. That's two. These ones are gonna get me faster. I still have 50 seconds, so definitely we're gonna get two more. At least 4 sets here, guys. We got 2. Let's go for 3. That's 3. Still 20 seconds. Let's go for 4. All right, guys, let's go. 4. No. Come on. Come on. Let's go. 1, 2. Good. That's the only
Cardio.
Good. That was the only exercise where I will be using the push-up bars. You can do it on your hands too. I just like the push-up bars because I can get deeper. That's all. Wide shoulder press is next. So we're gonna be pressing just wide shoulders. I already feel this on my shoulders, guys. I can't feel this now. There is a lot of friction there, so you have to be careful. You don't want to create too much friction, you know, like inside the rotator cuff. So you have to be careful how you do this. So for this next one, I'm definitely gonna lower the load. Let's see, I'm gonna go down to 30 pounds and see how that goes. Okay, 30 pounds. This is wide press. It feels light, but I can feel that on my rotator cuff, so it's okay. You know, the idea is to work, especially when you're working overhead. You want to make sure you don't damage your joints. So I can definitely do more reps, but I feel a little bit the friction on my shoulders. My shoulders are not the best, so I'm calculating, you know, a work where when I feel that friction, you know, I will stop, and I'm not gonna continue doing that. Just gonna do a few reps. You know, I can definitely do more, but I don't wanna, like, you know, worn out my shoulder. We got 30 seconds, so I'm definitely getting one more. You know, the weight is good, the weight is not bad. You know, it's a little light compared to 40 pounds that I did before for the Arnold press. But when I started, I was fresh. Nothing hurt. So I was able to do more. And this is where the high repetition simulation training works. So I'm doing less weight, but my back and my shoulders feel like if they're doing a lot more, you know? And the work is like if you are working more weight, even if you're doing a little less. So It's just a technique I always use to protect my joints, you know. Remember, like if you're 40 and up, this is the right way to do this. You don't want to push it to the end, you know, like pop a tendon, tear something, your supraspinatus or the infraspinatus, something on your rotator cuff. You don't want to do that. So it's better to use a little less weight and do a few more reps. But once you already deal with a lot of weight, you actually don't have to do a lot of reps. Just a few reps, your arms are going to be feeling that they're actually pushing a lot. All right, shoulder flies. Okay, this one is simple. Simple exercise. I'm going to use 17.5 pounds. See how that works. Okay. Oh, sorry. This is 15 pounds. 15 pounds. Oh, yeah. So this is actually light, but I can feel that on my shoulders already. So I think I picked the right weight. Yeah. Shoulder flies. Yeah, this is definitely lightweight. It's only 15 pounds. But I definitely feel the work. Okay, so now we're gonna do it again. And it's not the muscle, it's inside, like it feels like your bone is rubbing with something, you know? That's the friction that is created inside because of the resistance. And so I don't wanna mess it up, so I just use the right weight. Anything that I do overhead or mostly overhead, you have to be careful because that also puts pressure down into your spine. So using a bench is a good idea, especially when you're pushing and doing presses and things like that. That's 4. And I'm gonna get 5 sets. Yeah. All right. All right, we're running. Good. This is the time where your shoulders take a little break. And the next one is narrow shoulder press. So before we were doing wide, now we're gonna do narrow presses. Same thing, I'm gonna use my bench. Notice that my bench is not all the way straight, like this. Because even if it's straight, when I go up, that puts pressure on my spine. I like it inclined, so the pressure lays actually on this area, like on my traps, and there is less pressure on my spine. Just a little tip. Okay. So let's go to, let's see. I think I'm gonna go for 30 pounds again on this one. It's gonna be light, but I wanna do something I can without, you know, putting too much pressure on my shoulders. Maybe I can do a little more than this. The friction here is different than when you go wide. Wide, there is more friction because the nature of the bone that goes on in the rotator cuff gets wider when we go wide and gets narrower when you're narrow. So there is more space for moving when you're narrow, like this. Wide, there is less space for moving, so it's more friction. But I think I'm gonna continue with teddies because I can feel it. You know, it's not, I don't feel it as bad as the wide ones, but still, still I can feel this. 30 seconds left. At least I can do one more. And then I'm going to explain you how that works with a wide and narrow and all this on your arm, so you have an idea, you know, why the wider ones usually hurt, you know, and feel a little harder. Okay, good. So let's say this is your rotator cuff, this is your arm, this is the bone in here, right? One side is wider. When we're here, the bone goes that way, and there is more friction. Like when it goes up and down, there is more friction inside. When we're narrow, the wider side of the bone actually comes in, becomes the narrower side of the bone. So there is, when you go not up this way, but in and out, like it goes like this, there is a lot more space for that to move. A little less resistance on the ligaments and tendons and in those areas. So it works a lot better. That's another tip. All right, let's see. Upright rows. Okay, maybe I'll use the same weight, 30 pounds for upright rows. Upright rows, I have to do it up. I cannot go on my bench, so I'm just gonna go up and down here. Your elbows always higher than the shoulders. Than the hands. Elbows higher than the hands. Okay, you see I'm struggling, so I'm gonna drop the weight a little bit. Let's go to 25. All right. If your form is struggling, just go down a little. Okay, that's a little better. And that's what I want. I want up, elbows higher. Yes, down the shoulders. Yes. Yep. Let's take a little break. Still have 35 seconds. Definitely doing a third set. Let's go, third set. Yep. Whew. Guys, I have 8 seconds. Let's try one more. 4 set. 3.5 reps from the 4th set. And it really don't matter. If you do, usually your first reps during the subsets is gonna be higher. You can do 10, 8, 12. The second one is gonna be a little lower. And the third one a little lower. Although there is less reps, your muscles still think that they're pushing more. And you don't need to do as many reps for the burn to start. So it really don't matter. What matters is that burn, you know, that feeling of the resistance and the burning. And that's what matters. You can achieve burn with 20 reps. You can achieve burn with 3 or 4 reps. That's what matters. All right, trap lift. Okay, for trap lifts, definitely going full throttle. I'm gonna go to 52.5 on each side. You don't have to do that much, but I like to do that when it comes to traps. So just up and down. You can lift it a little bit and down. I just like a nice slow pace on this one. Now this one also kind of put a little pressure down on the spine, but it's not pressure from up down, it's actually pull. It's a pull pressure, not a push pressure. This is a push down pressure, this is a pull down pressure. The pull down pressure on the spine is not as bad as the push pressure on your spine. When it pushes down, yes. But when you push up, actually the weight is pushing down. You know what I mean? Okay, 30 seconds. You push up, the weight is pushing down, so there is pressure on the spine. When you're here, it's different because it's not coming from the top, it's actually pulling from the bottom. So it's not as bad. And this usually doesn't really affect my back. Whew. Okay, let's bring it
Cardio.
to the place while pulling. Yeah. All right. It feels pumped in there. So that's good, that's good. All right, guys, one more and we're done. See how fast this thing goes? 8 sets. We did 3 or 4 sets on each set, or 3 or 4 subsets. So do the math. If you do 3, multiply by 8, it's 24 sets. My goal is always 24 to 36 sets. That's the goal. No less than 24, no more than 36. So every time you get a 4 1, I get a few 4 1s. You know, I might have done about 32 sets. So that's it. 6-point flies. Okay, for this I don't really need a lot of weight. I'm gonna try with 12 and a half. 12 and a half. Okay, 12 and a half. And see how that works. So I'm gonna do this standing so I have more range of motion. So I go in and I go out. I go in and I go out. 6 point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why I call it 6-point shoulder flies. Let's try seating. It works really well too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's take a little break. 45 seconds to go. Looks like 12 and a half is a good weight for this. You know, maybe 10 might be better. Might help me moving a little higher. Good. Flex is always good. 20 seconds. Let's try. You see now, I don't need to do a lot of reps. Ooh, that's 3. 14 seconds, I'm gonna get 4 on this one. Let's go, number 4.
Cardio.
Okay. Alright guys. Cardio. Sweat coming off my head. Yes. Feels good. Alright, that was it. You know, super easy, super simple. Just use the right weight. If you want to grow, use more weight, do less reps, you know, 8 to 10, 6 to 10. If you want to burn, or you want to, let's say, get more athleticism and range of motion, do more reps, you know. I go in the middle of the road. I don't do a lot of weight, like a lot of heavy weight or very light. I'm on the heavy side, but not as much as I can actually push, but as much as I can actually hold for that minute and 50 seconds, you know, and do like 3 or 4 more reps. I mean, more sets, subsets with that same weight. Or sometimes I use a lower weight. Okay, good. Just a little bit of a stretch now. See guys, the stretch is super important. 26 minutes of workout and resistance training, I mean, and about 10 minutes of a stretch. 35 minutes altogether every day is the minimum you need, you know. Tonight I'm gonna be training combat karate and jiu-jitsu. I train 2 classes almost every day, but tonight we have 2. We have combat karate 6 to 7 and then jiu-jitsu 7 to 8:30. So it's 2 hours and a half, 2 hours and a half that I'm going to be training and moving and pushing and pulling and sweating and lots of cardio. So this is just to wake me up, to fill me of energy, and then later I do that. I'm not telling you that you have to do 2.5 hours of training every night, no. Because I don't do this every night. You know, Fridays is my day off at night. But Mondays, after this I train in the morning, 2.5 hours, Monday mornings. I do not train at night after this workout. Tuesdays, I train 6 to 7 and then 7 to 8:30, 2 different martial arts. Wednesday, I train only jiu-jitsu, no gi, 7 to 8:30. Thursday, like today's a Thursday actually, 2.5 hours combat karate and jiu-jitsu. Friday off. Saturday, we have open mats in the morning. If I can train, because I work on Saturdays, I will. If not, I'm okay because I train enough during the week. Usually just rest Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then go back to Monday. So you need to leave a little time for resting to your body, right? Okay, right here, we did this. Okay, let's continue. We're talking too much, but I just want to give you an idea of how you can distribute your time for your training. Okay, so do, you know, later in the day after work, let's go to the gym again, do some cardio, you know, maybe play tennis, do some sport, or even if you get home, just go out for a walk, you know, just walk half hour. But it's good to do a little something more than this in the morning. Now, if you don't have any other time, this will be good with a good nutrition program, you know, and these exercises, you should be set. This is going to help you a lot too, because you're definitely working your body and breaking a good sweat, doing resistance training. So yeah, that definitely going to help you out. You know, getting where you want to be. The other thing that you can do too is you can do this workout in the morning and then later you can do intervals, you know. So what you do is you go out and walk, and let's say you walk for 1 minute and then jog for 30 seconds, and walk for a minute and jog for 30 seconds, and do that for half hour, you know. And that is a great workout. So it's better than just jogging. So, you know, keeps your heart rate up and down, and helps you burn a lot of calories. More than if you are just jogging or just walking. Interval, just go back and forth. You know, run a little, walk a little, run a little, walk a little. So, that's how it works best. All right. Oh, feels good. Right there now. Guys, my tank top is wet. Like, I don't know if you noticed from there, but it's all dark and sweaty and wet, and I'm ready to take a shower after this and get ready for an amazing, wonderful making money day. And that's good. All right, here, just a little bit of this. You know, I'm just stretching but moving and just doing some stuff. Yeah, it's not always the same. You know, we use different type of stretches, and we're gonna keep using other ones too. We're gonna stretch on chairs, and you're gonna learn a lot of different ways to do this. Feels good. Roll a few times. I'm ahead of my timer. Right now. I'm gonna use this. Okay. You go back here. All right. Ooh. Ah, this feels so good. Ooh, it really cracked my lower back. I don't know if you heard that, but probably hard to hear from where the camera is, but it went like crack. Oof. Oh, feels good. I'm gonna pay special attention to the upper body and the shoulder, the scapula, because this is what worked the hardest today. Yeah, right there. Okay. Now, that's roller time. I'm ahead of my timer right now, so now I'm gonna roll a little bit. Just a little bit, guys. You do this. If you do this every day, just a little bit. You don't have to spend like a whole hour stretching once a week. No. You know, you do this every day for 10 minutes. Just think about it, you know. You're working 70 minutes a week of stretching distributed in 7 days. So it's a lot better to do it like that, you know, than just go one day and do like a long workout, and then, you know, you don't want to go to the gym in 2-3 days and then go back. And no, consistency is the trick. You know, train your body to be consistent and do it every day, even if it's just for a little time. I used to do this besides the other sports that I do later. I used to do this every day for about 55 minutes to an hour. So I'm gonna do the upper part. When I was in my 20s, I will go to the gym and train for like 1.5 to 2 hours, and then do martial arts later. So I was exercising like 3-4 hours a day. You know, as I grow older, I didn't stop. What I did is just slow down a little bit. So from 1.5 to 2 hours a day, you know, in my 20s and 30s, when I get to my 40s, I went to about 50 minutes to an hour in the morning. And the night didn't change because I cannot really change the time of the classes, but I slow down in my practice, so I don't go full throttle, right? And now that I'm in my 50s, so I reduce now to about 35 to 40 minutes mornings, you know, on these workouts, And this actually is my new set of workouts where I'm spending about 35-36 minutes a day. That's it. But before I start these workouts, like a few weeks ago, I was working about 45 to 50 minutes. So now I decided I'm gonna reduce that to about 35 minutes a day, work on, consistently and for just a little less time, but every day, every single day. And the nighttime never changed. It goes at the same time. I just slow down a little bit on my moves and stuff like that, but the timing is there. I still have to do the time because it's a class. So sometimes I teach the class, sometimes I participate in the class. I'm like a student, let's say a student. So I practice instead of teaching. But I'm always participating, whether I'm teaching or being a student. I'm always participating in the class and working and sweating and rolling, and so it's good, guys. Well, with that being said, thank you for joining me today. Have an awesome day. Enjoy your lives. Work out, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video so you can get to more people. And I will see you on my next workout. See you, and awesome garage workouts, your garage, your gym.